What's up, everybody? It's Jay Covers Cunningham for In It to Win It, and it's time for our NFL Week 8 game picks. Before we get into our Week 8 slate, we have to touch on how we did in Week 7. Let's check out the numbers. On our game picks, we went 7-7, winning at a 50% rate on the season, or 26-27, 49%. Our player props was a little rough. We went 2-5, only winning at 28%. On the season, we're 11-16. 40%. We promise to improve. We already started Week 8 right on Thursday Night Football. Let's get into Sunday's slate. The first game we're looking at is the Miami Dolphins versus the Atlanta Falcons. There is nothing good to say about this Dolphins team. They are 1-6 with the only victory being against the winless Jets. Tua has a new excuse every week for his shortcomings at quarterback, and at this point, I think some players are faking injuries just so they don't have to participate in this sinking ship. The Falcons' defense held Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers to only 20 points and Josh Allen Bills to 14 points. The Dolphins' offense can't compare to either of those teams, so scoring more than 17 would take a miracle. My official play is the Dolphins team total under 17.5 points. The next game on the slate is going to be the Buffalo Bills versus the Carolina Panthers. Buffalo is fresh off of their bye, and this is the perfect get-right spot for them. Josh Allen is a perfect 7-0 following the bye week, and I'm sure he's motivated to make amends for his sloppy play in the last 2 games. Bryce Young is doubtful, so Andy Dalton will get the start. Some might say Dalton will make the offense better, but in the famous words of Lee Corso, not so fast. When Dalton started for Young last season, Carolina went 1-4, losing all 4 by 10 points or more, and Dalton threw 6 interceptions. Buffalo hasn't been good against the spread, going 2-4, but before their 2-game losing streak, they won 4 in a row with the last 3 wins being by 10 points or more. I don't like laying big numbers, but Buffalo should win and cover. My official play is the Bills minus 7.5 points. Let's move on to the Cleveland Browns versus the New England Patriots. New England has been on a roll, winning 5 of 6 and are leading the AFC East, but this will be a real test against the Browns' top-ranked defense. Out of their 5 wins, the only team with a top 10 defense they have faced was Carolina. Drake May will definitely be peeking constantly in the direction of Myles Garrett, adjusting protections. Dylan Gabriel hasn't turned the ball over through his 3 starts, but he's been unable to push the ball downfield. Gabriel is a league worst 10 of 30 on throws of 10 air yards or more. This should be a defensive battle, with New England shutting down the run game and Gabriel inefficiency throwing balls downfield. Points will be hard to come by for the Browns. My official play is under 40.5 points. Next game on the slate is the New York Jets versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This line opened at Bengals minus 4.5 and has been bet up to Bengals minus 6.5. So clearly no one has any trust in the winless Jets to win this matchup. But can you trust Cincinnati to cover 6.5 point spread? The assumption is Tyrod Taylor will get the start due to Justin Fields' struggles, but Taylor hasn't fared well, going 10 of 22 for 126 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. The Jets haven't scored a touchdown in 8 quarters and have injuries at all their skill positions. Cincinnati played well with Joe Flacco taking over for Jake Browning and should keep their momentum here. I just can't see 6 touchdowns being scored, no matter who's the Jet quarterback is. My official play is under 44.5 total points. Next game on the docket is the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Everyone can relax now because all is right in Philly after defeating the Vikings, right? Wrong. After seeing how the Chargers just dismantled the Vikings defense in the air and on the ground, the Eagle win lost a lot of its luster. The Eagles still have problems. Saquon in the running game is still struggling. There are still holes that can be exploited in the Eagles' defense, and now A.J. Brown is out with a hamstring injury. Nobody gave the Giants a chance Thursday night against the Eagles. They didn't just win that game, they dominated. So can lightning strike in the same place twice? I say yes. Jackson Dart and Cam Scottaboo has the 5 high in New York, and it's infectious. The entire team is performing better, and the Eagles haven't fixed any of the problems they had before the Vikings game. I'll gladly take 7.5 points in a rivalry game against a team missing their number one receiver. My official play is the Giants plus 7.5 points. Let's move on to the Chicago Bears versus the Baltimore Ravens. When Lamar comes back, the Ravens have a real chance, is all I heard for weeks. Well, now Lamar is officially out for the third straight game, and let's be honest, the Ravens' season was already over. With Green Bay, New England, and 2 dates with Pittsburgh left on the schedule, running the table was going to be nearly impossible. The Bears are still a team with flaws, but they have won 4 in a row and are the better team right now. I'll ride with the momentum. My official play is the Bears plus 2.5 points. The last game on the early slate is the San Francisco 49ers versus the Houston Texans. George Kittle's return was huge for San Francisco as he opened up running lanes for McCaffrey that allowed the rest of the offense to flow naturally. Shanahan is definitely a Coach of the Year candidate with the job he's doing with all the injuries the 49ers have. But somehow the 2-4 Texans are favored here. Nico Collins is out with a concussion. Houston's 2 wins came against teams with bottom 10 defenses, and Houston has a bottom half of the league offense, while San Francisco is top 10. The Texans defense is top 5, but with a versatile weapon like Christian McCaffrey, Shanahan will scheme receivers open quickly against the Texans' front defensive pressure. Stroud's struggle should continue, and the Niners should pull out the win. My official play and winner's lock is the San Francisco 49ers on the money line. Now we're going to move on to the late slate of games, and for the Tennessee Titans versus the Indianapolis Colts, I have no official play. I want no parts of that game. Let's move on to something I do, and that's going to be the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the New Orleans Saints. Baker Mayfield made it very clear he doesn't like the Saints, and after a bad performance in Detroit, Mayfield will have the luxury of beating on this Saints defense. Since Baker taking over in Tampa Bay, the Bucks have won 3 of 4 against the Saints, covering this number in all 3 wins. Spencer Rattler regressed last week against the Bears, throwing 3 interceptions and not looking comfortable in the pocket. With the Saints struggling to run the ball, Rattler will be forced to throw, and Todd Bowles will throw multiple different defensive looks at Rattler, which may force some additional mistakes. Bucks should win here and cover. My official play is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 3.5 points. Now this could be a fun one. That's the Dallas Cowboys versus the Denver Broncos. The Bronco offense has been one of the hardest to watch this year. Yeah, they scored 33 points in the fourth quarter against the Giants, but that was more of a Brian Daboll choke job than Denver actually having a good offense. Denver could have lost against the hopeless Jets. I think their luck runs out here. Dallas is cooking right now. Dallas owns the number 1 offense, and Dak is slinging the rock better than he ever has in his career. Dak created chemistry with George Pickens while CeeDee Lamb was out, and now with CeeDee back, this offense looks unstoppable. Sure, the Cowboys' defense is bad, but the offense is elite. While Denver's defense hasn't looked so great in recent weeks, and neither has the offense. Cowboys make their statement in Denver. My official play is the Cowboys plus the 3.5 points. Last but not least, we have Sunday Night Football, and that's the Green Bay Packers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers has downplayed facing his former team, but I'm sure he would love a victory here. Unfortunately, for Rodgers, it's not going to happen. Green Bay is a superior team here in every way. Michael Parsons had his coming out party last week in the clutch against Arizona. Josh Jacobs will be able to move the chains on the ground against the Steelers defense, ranked 18th in rushing. I'm sure Matt LaFleur had this game circled on the schedule and will have a game plan to leave Pittsburgh with a W. Rodgers has played well on the season, but will definitely fall short here. Only needing to win by 3 points is just too great of a value to let slip away. My official play and second winner's lock of the week is the Green Bay Packers minus 2.5 points. And those are our game picks for NFL Week 8. We'll have a separate video for Monday Night Football, day 1 of our ladder challenges posted, and our best player props for the week is posted as well. As always, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel to grow the winner circle. I'm JCC for In It to Win It.